If I'm going to tell my story, I'll start with why I started my business. This happened about 1999, but it came after a long path of learning and transformation in my life. This was after my career as a dancer, and I had been immersed in the study of yoga for 20 years under the tutelage daily of a meditation master. Yoga, in the sense that I'm talking about, is one of the six philosophical systems from India. It does include yoga postures, and there's a lot more to it, including the mind and school tools for skill in life, as well as self realization. The inspiration for Coaching for Champions came to me in a flash in 1999 when I was attending a Major League Baseball game. It was very sudden, and I knew without a doubt that I could help the guys on the field, not only with training imbalances and agility, but also with tools to keep the mind balanced and practices to overcome issues and thinking with focus and nerves around the performance track, as well as skills for navigating life off the field and all the pressures. So I began to offer these tools to athletes who came to my yoga studio or saw my advertised workshops and wanted to work with me to overcome their performance issues. Of course, obstacles happened as they do, and I suffered a concussion in 2006, which threw me off for a number of years with various lingering side effects, eventually healed. And then I also listened to people who I considered powerful, who told me not to do what I was doing, to cease and desist. Petty tyrants are some of our best teachers, and these were no different for me. I've had a few in my life. Then in 2008, the economy tanked after I started working again, and I lost two jobs in a week. One was a pilot program at UCSD for athletes there. Being ever flexible, I decided to add a professional life coaching credential, and it took me about a year and a half. And I did do that, although the primary reason for doing it was because I wanted to be coached. It was a complicated program. I'm glad I did it, but I've never actually had a business as a life coach. But the main thing for me in the business was always that initial clarity to help elite athletes overcome performance challenges and stay resilient on the performance track using only the most natural means. Eventually, I got to the book, which shares yoga techniques for the mind for elite performance. And this is a collection of stories of people that I did work with and some of the tools that I used with them. Before writing this short book, I interviewed a large number of athletes, coaches, and teams. And I was really saddened to hear stories of alcoholism, steroids, and other performance enhancing drugs, as well as recreational substances, leading to compromised or derailed careers. Then I knew my work was doubly important. So, this is why I wanted to create Coaching for Champions, and it was the impetus for many years, as well as for writing the book. The book is called Working In: The Elite Athlete's Guide to Working Out from the Inside. My desire to help underprivileged, economically challenged students and student athletes happened when I spoke to a group of about 300 high school football players from the inner city in Oakland and Los Angeles right before their competition against each other. I fell in love with those kids that night because they were so attentive and quiet, and they really wanted to learn. In fact, the retired NFL player who hosted me said he had never seen them that attentive before. I wish I had a video of that night, but sadly I don't. When I spoke to one of the young men afterward, he shared a story of having to leave early in the morning and return home late at night because it was so bad at home, and he was exploring multiple sports so he could stay out as long as possible. I often think of him and the elite tennis player coming out of alcohol rehab at the age of 19.